Good evening and welcome to the Wednesday night leadership call. My name is Patrick Tulloch, and tonight I have the pleasure of sharing with you my 5 steps to recruiting success. Just some things that I've learned from the beginning when I started in this industry 9 years ago that have made a huge impact in my business, and just a daily routine that I will go through that today has been completely simplified. Now, what I'm going to do here is share with you an overview of the 5 steps to recruiting. Obviously, you can always get into more details, but I think what I'm going to share with you will help you in your recruiting process. It'll help you as far as developing consistency and a daily mode of operation. And there's nothing better to coming to realize what you need to do next. What's the next step? It's just like somebody who has a great experience or expertise, with computers. And I don't know very much about computers, but if I wanted to learn from somebody who had that background, I would obviously, stay very close to them and learn as much as I could so that I could, do what I needed to do when the time came. So the 5 steps is going to definitely help. And let's progress here. The first thing that we want to be able to do is look at a plan of action. All right, nothing ever happens without a plan, and if you want to get from point A to point B, obviously we know that there has to be some vision. They say that when the vision is clear, the journey is much easier, and so when you get started in the recruiting process and you want to have success, then you need to have a plan. Otherwise, you'll go around and around in circles. So the first thing that you might want to ask yourself is, who are you wanting to talk with? All right, you just got started in your new business. You've got a number of people who you have on your list or in your mind who you want to begin to share the business with. And, what's the process that you're going to begin to implement in order to get your plan off and running? So, you could be asking yourself, who would you like to be in business with? I've always thought that I wanted to be in business with like-minded individuals, like myself. And so, that was one way of me being able to determine who I wanted to surround myself with. And, you're an entrepreneur. You got into this business for various reasons. And maybe you just want to, surround yourself with people who are just like you. So maybe that might be a good way to gauge who you would approach as far as getting involved or sharing the business with. And I've got a few other things here that you can, make a list of. If you're getting started in the business or you want to help somebody else who's just getting started in the business, you want to be able to look at people who are success-driven, they're motivated, they're entrepreneurial, maybe they work from home already, and the other thing is they just want more out of life. They want a better lifestyle. They want to be able to have more options with regards to where they are right now in their life. So you're sitting down, you've just decided that you want to get involved, you want to get started in your business, and you've got to have some type of a plan that you need to put into place in terms of the time commitment that you're going to invest in your business. And the one thing is that you want to be consistent in your activities on a daily basis, or if it's every other day, and then you've got to look at the number of hours that you're prepared to invest in your business. And again, you've got to be consistent. So this is a business. And one of the things that I came to realize coming from a traditional background, working in an industry for 23 years, that I made some great money in the business that I was in, but the thing I want to share with you, this business will pay you that and more. So you've got to treat it like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, then you're going to get paid as if it were a hobby. So, take it seriously, because this industry is providing some tremendous wealth-building opportunities. So then what we're going to do then is we're going to go to the second area, is the invitation, right? The invitation. And here we're talking about the type of the approach. What type of an approach will you use to share the opportunity, to share your opportunity, okay? Because there are different approaches. So let me just share with you. The first one that I want to highlight is the front door approach, all right? So for some of the people on the call here, you may be familiar with the front door approach. For those of you who aren't, you're just getting started in the industry, the front door approach is one whereby you have what we call credibility with individuals. So some people who are success-driven, they're motivated, they're entrepreneurial, they want to make more money, they're tired of working where they are, they want more out of life. And so you, as an individual, you have a lot of credibility with them. You can actually sit down with them, and you can talk to them about anything at any time. And so you're just going to basically get together with them and say, hey, Bob, Susan, or Janet, I just got started in a new business. I'm really excited about it. I know you're entrepreneurial. I know you're motivated, and I just want to share some information with you. So you want to keep it really simple. It's a credibility approach. There's nothing hidden. I mean, basically, people who have a lot of respect for you will want to know what you're doing. They're going to be curious. And so this is why we call it the front door approach. Now, from there, we can take a look at the second approach, which we refer to as the side door approach, okay? And basically here, what we're doing is we may know somebody, we may not know them very well. They might be a friend of a friend, and you may just share with them that you just got started in a business that you're extremely excited about. Your business partner in North America is expanding in this market, and we're looking for sharp, entrepreneurial, success-driven individuals who want to increase their income. Who do you know? That's it, just asking a question. Who do you know? Who do you know who might be interested in creating an additional 3- or 4-figure income part-time without affecting their current situation? Who do you know is the question, right? And so you're not asking them directly. This is the side door approach, and usually 9 out of 10 times what's going to happen is somebody's going to say, well, what about me? What is it all about? And so that's an opportunity for you then to be able to qualify, okay, very important, to qualify whether or not that individual would be appropriate to do business with or to go into business with. So that's the side door approach. Then we're going to take a look at the back door approach. And we all have individuals who fall into this category. And these are individuals who are, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, these people are 12s. I mean, they've got a tremendous amount of credibility. They're well respected in the industry. People go to them for advice, or they're willing to give you advice on something. And that's exactly the approach that you're going to use. Is you may know somebody, they're very successful, they may generate a great income. But you see, one of the things you have to understand is that people who are successful understand the power of leverage. They understand the ability to be able to develop a multiple stream of income or another source of income. And so they know how to leverage themselves. So you might approach them and just tell them, hey, I just got involved in a new business. I'm really excited about it. It's a global business model. And I'm wondering if you take a look at some information for me and give me your feedback. All right? All you're asking for is their feedback. You want their opinion. Now, what may happen is they may say, well, it looks really interesting. I'd like to learn more. Or they might be able to give you some referrals. Or the third option is they might just not be interested, and they might share with you that it looks like it's a great idea, but it's not for me. And that's okay. So you just don't know what's going to happen. Never say never. Never prejudge, because you just don't know what people's personal situation is and what they're looking for. So again, these are the three types of invitations that you can implement right away: the front door approach, the side door approach, and then the back door approach. All right. So here now you have somebody who maybe is open, who's interested. So now we're going to go to number 3 in the recruiting process, is to instruct and to schedule. All right, instruct and schedule. And here, what you're looking at is the individual. All right, everybody's different. And the question is, what do they need to see, or what do they need to do? Either one. What do they need to see, or what do they need to do? So one of the things that I would recommend is, if you have somebody who is open to looking, they're sharp, they're a top producer, maybe they're in a company, a network marketing company, they're very serious. What you need to do then is you need to get them on the phone with your business partner immediately. All right, you create a sense of urgency. And why is that? Why is that? Well, it goes to what I said at the very beginning of the training session here, is that if you don't have the experience, like I don't have the experience with a computer and the technology that goes behind it, I need to get somebody else involved who's going to help me to learn what that computer is all about. So, if you're in the learning curve, you're in the learning stages, then what you need to do is you need to be able to rely on your business partner to get on the phone with you. And through that process, you're going to be able to learn more about, overcoming objections, answering more questions about the company and the products, et cetera, et cetera. So, it's a learning curve, and that's the beautiful thing about the business, is that you have the ability to be able to earn an income while you're learning how to build your business, because you have a support system in place that is absolutely second to none. So then you may be at a point where, and this has happened, I've seen this happen over time, where individuals are now very, very comfortable where they can actually sit down with somebody who's looking at the business, and they can provide them with a personal presentation. This is otherwise known as a one-on-one. So that's another option. If you have a business partner close by, because we're in a global economy, we're doing business around the world. That's not always possible, but in your local market, your local community, you might be in a situation where you can have your business partner join you, and they can do the personal presentation for you. But this way it's great, because people get to see who you are, and they get to see what you are all about, and you're able to really develop a great rapport through a one-on-one, et cetera. And thirdly is a webinar presentation. Powerful tool, can be done anywhere in the world at any time. You don't have to be the expert. Somebody else will do the presentation. All you have to do is invite the individuals to the presentation at the scheduled time. And so presentations, webinar presentations, can be done throughout the week. So there's no limitations to when, where, or how it's done. It's just done. All you got to do is plug in. Just like this training, people from across North America or globally are able to jump on and learn as they relax in the comfort of their home. So that's number 3 is a webinar presentation, powerful tool. And then from there, you do have some other alternatives. And I always recommend that in most cases, probably like, 9 out of 10 times, you'll want to be able to have your prospect exposed to one form or another prior to getting them on the phone with somebody else to answer questions. So you have CDs, you have pre-recorded presentations that are available, and then you also have websites that people can be directed to. I remember the company that when I started with this company that I'm with 9 years ago, we didn't have very many tools. All we had was a website, and that website was powerful enough that it was able to attract a lot of people to our business. So, use the tools accordingly. And after you've been able to share the particular vehicle that they will access to learn more about the business, what you want to be able to do then is you want to be able to schedule an appointment to get back with them. So, if they're going to be jumping on a webinar on a Tuesday, you want to be scheduling a follow-up call on the Wednesday. If you're getting together with them to do a personal presentation on a Thursday, you want to be scheduling a follow-up with them on a Friday. So you want to be able to do the follow-up within a reasonable time, 24 to 48 hours. This is simply because the information is very, very fresh in people's minds. And, we live in a world that seems to be a very busy, busy place, which I don't really like the word busy. I find that to be a very undesirable distraction that just attracts more of the same. So you want to be productive. So you want to just really encourage the individual to do as they say they will, and gauge their level of interest. Sometimes you'll be able to tell, people might be a little bit cold about, doing what they say they're going to do, or some people might be warm and some people are hot. The hot ones are going to do what they say they're going to do. So you want to just get a feel of, where people are at and how they feel at the time you talk with them. So schedule an appointment to get back with them after they have seen or looked at the information that you've recommended. So then what we want to do is we want to do that follow-up, all right, very important. And when you do the follow-up at the scheduled time, basically you're just asking a very simple question. There's a few pleasantries, of course, because you want to be able to develop a relationship with that individual, but you just want to know, did you have an opportunity to look at or review the information as you stated you would? All right, just a very simple question. And usually people are going to give you 2 answers, and we all know what those 2 answers are. And for example, if the answer is no, one of the things I will then do is I will ask the individual, well, let me ask you, Susan, how serious are you about changing your existing situation? How serious are you about wanting to be able to purchase the home of your choice, as we discussed? So you just really want to gauge, and I just talked about it. Are they cold? Are they warm? Are they hot? Just to get a feeling. Are you just pulling my leg? Are you really serious? And if they're serious about, looking at the information, because there are times where, situations come up. You got to give people the benefit of the doubt. There are scenarios where things come up and people get pulled away from what they said they were going to do. So what you want to do is give them the benefit of the doubt and reschedule a follow-up. Just reschedule. Keep it real simple. And then on the other side of things, if people say yes, Well, that's great too. The question that you want to ask now is, what did you like best about what you saw? Or what interested you the most? So you just want to really get a good gauge of what people liked about the business model that they saw. So it might be an aspect of the product. It might be an aspect of the compensation plan. When people tell me that it's about mentorship and it's about the support system, then I really know they're on the right track, because without mentorship and support in a company, you're just going to go around in circles. So what did they like best about what they saw, or what interested them the most, I think are two key questions that you want to be able to ask individuals when you follow up with them. And basically, maybe you've had a little bit of dialogue, you've answered a few questions, and then from there, what you want to be able to do is you want to ask this. You want to ask, what additional information would you need to see before getting started or before moving forward? All right, if they've got no more objections and they like what they see, they like the product, they like the compensation, they like the support system, they like the fact that the company is global, what else do you need to see? And in some cases, what you're going to find is people will say, well, you know what? I'm ready to get started. There's nothing else I need to see. I'm ready. Okay, so what you have to understand is that people are at different levels in terms of their knowledge level about the industry, and some people might need a little bit more information. Maybe there's something else that they need to see. So if they're ready to go, then all we need to do is explain to them what they need to do next to get started. So there might be some specific information that they need to provide you with so that you can help them get set up in the system, and that is just as simple as the process would be. All right, and then we'll explain what happens if it's on the other side and they're not quite ready. So what we need to do then is we need to look at the follow. Oh, sorry, I got one more thing here to share with you. If the prospect requires additional information, then all we do is we're going to reschedule. And this is what I'm going to get into now. So we want to reschedule again, because sometimes there are situations where they need to see a little bit more information. I'm going to explain to you what that's all about in the follow-through. So in the follow-through, one of the things that I love to do is I love to get my business partner on the phone with my prospect on the follow-through. Why? Because he has a lot of credibility. He's been in the business probably longer than myself, or he's had greater success than myself. And what he's going to be able to do is he's going to be able to answer questions. He's going to also share his or her experience. And also, he's going to be able to impart the vision of the company at a level that is going to be pretty exciting. So what they're going to basically do, bottom line, is they're going to help your prospect to be able to make an informed decision, a very positive informed decision on getting involved with the business. So that is a great part of the business, is the follow through, where you have a business partner on the line with you. And as I was saying, the reason why you're basically rescheduling, because the person wants additional information, you've got to understand something, that people may need to have 3 or 5 exposures, 3 to 5 exposures before they actually make a decision. It's just part of the process. And some of the things that I'm talking about when I say exposures, it's very simple. Simple information that's available, and you can get that from your business partners. But it might be various articles on the industry, all right, information on the industry. Or it might be, again, supporting testimonials from third party supporting testimonials. Now, this might be from individuals who are not even in the industry, but who endorse the network marketing industry because they know it's growing in leaps and bounds. All right? And then there's also the product. Sometimes, depending on the nature of the business, it could be a product or service, but when people have the opportunity to use the product or try the product, that could be another thing that would be an exposure. So there's a myriad of exposures. And again, this is an overview, so you can always get back with the person who you're working with or you'd like to work with and let them answer those questions for you. Now, the general rule for doing a follow-up, for getting back to a prospect is very, very important, is around 24 to 48 hours. The sooner the better, because the information is just readily available. So I've just touched on a few things here. Now, I've shared, I've shared quite a bit of information here with you, in all honesty, and I think, through repetition, you can get, gooder and gooder at becoming the best that you can possibly be in this 5-step recruiting system, and I hope that it's been beneficial for you. So these are the steps that I will do on an ongoing basis. These are the steps that I will train and work with other individuals in my business. And if you want to learn more about me and what I do, you can find me at ypatrick.com. And I'd like to thank you all for joining me here this evening on this training. And my name again is Patrick Tulloch, based here in beautiful Toronto, Canada. So good night, folks.